Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares just dropped a bombshell that's sending ripples through the automotive industry. Jeep, the iconic American brand, is officially closing its doors. But why? What led to this sudden decision? And what does this mean for the future of the automotive industry? It is no news that Stellantis, the multinational car maker, is in a tough situation right now, as there has been a drastic decline in sales, narrowing profit margins, and numerous executive exits in the last couple of months. It is that bad that sales have dropped significantly, with global earnings down about 48%. Brands like Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Chrysler are also facing serious challenges that could threaten their future. This issue isn't just about their mistakes, but rather a part of a larger trend in the auto market that could affect everyone in the auto business. Even with that, new car sales since before the pandemic are still lagging behind, and Stellantis is feeling the pinch more than others. Jeep has seen a massive 44% drop in sales compared to other years, selling only 6,429 vehicles in 2023, its lowest number in over a decade. The situation has gotten worse, with Stellantis sitting on a mountain of unsold vehicles, 1.4 million as of March 2024. Initially, they ramped up production to meet demand, but as sales dropped, they ended up stacked with too many cars. Many of these vehicles are older models that don't match today's buyer's spec, especially in popular segments like mid-size SUVs. This has resulted in cars sitting longer on dealer lots, which is unusual for the industry. And as it is, investors, union members, and frustrated dealers seem to agree on one thing: Carlos Tavares, the CEO, is the problem. Even as Carlos struggles to revamp the company formed by the 2021 mega merger of Fiat Chrysler Automobiles and France's PSA Group, Tavares, who is renowned in the automotive industry for his corporate thrift, has drawn an unimaginable depth of criticism for making too many cuts. As a result of this weighing issue, dealers are annoyed by the global automakers' declining lineups. Wall Street is dissatisfied with its financial performance, and the United Auto Workers Union is about to go on strike over unfulfilled product promises. Also, Stellantis' earnings warning at the end of September, which hinted that margins would be lower than anticipated and that significant restructuring in North America would result in negative free cash flow, also played a drastic role in complicating things for Carlos. Now, following months of increasing pressure and a lawsuit from investors, Stellantis announced that Carlos would retire in early 2026 when his contract expires. However, with the interim of the time left, he will have to manage the business through one of the most challenging periods in history. With the way things are, will Carlos be able to initiate a drastic turnaround for the company? We can only wait to see what will happen. Following the recent occurrence, a Stellantis representative, in an attempt to tackle some of the issues lingering and weighing on the shoulders of its company, deemed the investors' actions to be baseless, stating clearly that one of the business's primary aims ought to be vigorously defending itself and not trying to destroy it. That aside, the representative also stated that Stellantis is pursuing legal action against the UAW for its actions. Subsequently, Stellantis CEO's recent announcement to shut down Jeep manufacturing has left Jeep owners in the dark and dealers seething. Is this the final nail in the coffin for the iconic brand? Even though cost-cutting measures have helped Stellantis achieve record profits some years back, still, dealers have quietly voiced deep concerns for years about the loss of more cheap models of Jeep, Chrysler, and Dodge. In an open letter published at the time, the Stellantis National Dealer Council openly and gravely criticized CEO Carlos for allegedly undermining the value of their brands by canceling so many models. Even retailers that nobody would have thought would utter even a single word accused Carlos of reckless short-term decision-making that has had devastating yet entirely predictable consequences in the U.S. market. Can it be more serious than this? Afterwards, Pennsylvania-based Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram dealer Dave Kelleher revealed that the changes to Jeep, which include the 2024 model year's less expensive Cherokee and Renegade, have been particularly harmful. He also claimed that while he is happy that both models would be back for the 2026 model year, he is losing clients in the interim. These were his words. Some bean counters made bad mistakes, alluding to business staff. "I just question why we would stop building Cherokees before a new one is prepared." What he said didn't just fly away with the wind, it stuck in people's minds as people kept on asking the same question. And now Stellantis dealers, once loyal, are now agitated with resentment, rolling out fresh accusations and looking out for reasons to throw blame. While the financial weight on Stellantis isn't getting any lighter, one of Kelleher's complaints is supported by their data, and due to significant volume losses at the profit-generating Ram and Jeep, Stellantis' U.S. sales were down 17% through September compared to the same period a couple of years back. Unlike before, Jeep used to dominate the industry, but has since lost market share to rivals like Hyundai in the more reasonably priced SUV segments. According to Cox Automotive, Jeep, Chrysler, and Dodge are also experiencing an oversupply issue, with each brand having well over 100 days supply at the end of summer, which contrasts with the 77-day supply average for the company. And at that, this indicates that Stellantis' products do not meet the needs of its customers and price, which used to be a strength for Jeep in particular and is now a deterrent for potential buyers, according to Ivan Drury, an automobile analyst for the online retailer Edmunds. That certainly is not only just a big drop, that's a retrogression, a 10,000 steps towards the downfall of a business, and according to the company's data, the typical Stellantis car that sold for more than $56,000 years back is now sold for $45,000. So apparently, if a customer has an older Stellantis product, the odds of buying a new one are very, very diminished, especially compared to the rest of the industry, Drury stated. He went on to say, "A lot of that is because the ATP creep is so aggressive," in reference to the average transaction price. The decision to stop producing more reasonably priced cars seems to have wide-ranging effects on the business. As consumers limit their budgets due to inflation and rising interest rates, car affordability is more crucial now than it has been in previous years. Additionally, the UAW has turned the abandoned factories into a battlefield. While Stellantis' short-sighted tactics might have pushed the UAW to the brink, a strike looms large, threatening to cripple the automaker. With no possible solutions in sight to put an end to the whole saga, the UAW's dispute with Carlos had to do with the Illinois plant where Stellantis manufactured the now-defunct Jeep Cherokee. The union claims that renouncing investments is a violation of its 2023 contract and has threatened to go on strike if Stellantis does not restore product commitments for the facility. In retaliation, Stellantis sued the union, claiming that its votes authorizing the strike were a breach of the agreement. Who then is breaching agreements here? The UAW gained the power to strike over product commitments following an historic walkout at all three Detroit automakers last October. However, according to Stellantis, these pledges are always open to modification based on the state of the market. Carlos's leadership has been questioned by dealers and investors. More so, on a bright October afternoon, a more direct and obscene shout erupted in the parking lot of a Stellantis UAW local union, yelling, "Shit can Carlos." The president of the UAW, Sean Fain, stated that it was once again up to the UAW members to save this company from itself during a rally held to pressure Stellantis to uphold job commitments at the Illinois facility where it had previously made the Cherokee.